I don't even have that page.
The water container below needs to be filled. So if you're filling up a container, the space that's occupied inside the container would be represented by what? Volume or area? Volume. What shape is this? So you know automatically you're dealing with volume of a cylinder. So before we even look at the question, go to your formula sheets and tell me, what is the volume of the cylinder equal to? What is the formula for volume of a cylinder? Yes. Pi r squared h. Well, when you plug in the values in the formula, you're replacing r, which represents what? Radius, and h, which represents what? The height of the cylinder. So this question says, which of the following would represent the volume in centimeters cubed of water that fills the container? You don't even have to calculate it. You just have to figure out which answer is correct, which is the correct formula. So let's look at the diagram for a second. What does 3 centimeters represent? Is it the radius? Or is it the diameter? It's the diameter, because these arrows indicate that it's the total distance from one edge to the other. So diameter is 3 centimeters, but we need the radius. We don't need the diameter. But how does the diameter help us find the radius? Yes. To get the radius, we would take the diameter and divide it by 2. What's 3 divided by 2? 1.5. So the radius is 1.5, so that will help us with the formula. And what's the height of this cylinder? 5. So that will help us with the height. I'm going to give you a second to look over the options and tell me which one is the correct one. One of the strategies that will help you with eqao when you have multiple choice is go through each option and eliminate the ones that can't possibly be the answer. Let's look at A for a second. Remember, volume equals pi r squared times h. For option A, what did they put as the radius? 3. Is that possible? What does 3 represent, the radius or the diameter? Diameter. So we can actually put an X for option A. It can't be option A. Option B has pi, radius, and height. Are those the correct values? Are the numbers correct? What are they missing? The squared. So that can't be correct. B was just pi times r times h, which is not the correct formula. The correct formula has to have r squared. C is pi times 2 times 3. What's 2 times 3? 2 times 3 is 6. Is that the radius? No, and they don't even have the squared here either. Okay, so it can't be C. Well, let's make sure that D is the correct answer. Pi times radius squared. Radius is 1.5, like we discovered, has the squared, and the height is 5, so therefore D is the correct answer. So if you got that one right, give yourself a check mark. So the ice cream shop sells cones that each contain an average of 525 centimeters cubed. What does that number represent in this question? The area of the cone, the volume of the cone, what is it? It's how much ice cream can fit inside the cone. Tia? So that would be volume, right? So we're given the volume of the cone, and we're told that the ice cream is served from this tub. What shape is the tub? A cylinder. Well, we need to figure out how many cones can be made from the full tub of ice cream. So what's the first thing you need to figure out before you can even answer the question? We want to know how many cones can be made from the tub of ice cream, but do you know how much ice cream you have that you can fill in the tub? Yeah. We have to first figure out the volume of the tub, which is a cylinder, so that we know how much ice cream we have altogether. Then we can figure out how many cones we can make. Okay, we know that each cone takes up 525 centimeters cubed of the ice cream from the tub. So we have to find the volume of the cylinder, and we just talked about the formula for that one. What is it? Pi times r squared times height. Are you given the radius? What are you given? You're given the diameter. So again, this is repetitive, like I said. Good. The radius would be 30 divided by 2, which is 15 centimeters. And we have the height, which is 45. So you're going to take those values and you're going to plug them in to the eqao. Did you get it yet? We'll calculate it. 31808.
31792.
Oh, sorry, it was 31,000, what was it? 792.5 centimeters cubed. That's the total ice cream you have. But we want to know how many cones. So we had to divide it by the volume of each cone, 60.55. We don't have enough to round up to 61 cones because you wouldn't have enough ice cream. So we would say that it can fill only up to 60 cones. Would you have some ice cream left over in the tub? Yes.